The fact that people like this exist is so frustrating. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabby, and today I'm telling a story about this coworker I had at my first job outside of college who tried to fight me at work. So, okay, when I finished college in Minnesota, I moved back to California in December, and immediately after I started looking for a temporary day job just to support me while I was figuring out my music stuff. I was still playing gigs and setting up gigs and doing farmers markets and all of that, but I needed something a bit more consistent to support me financially because I wasn't making enough to live off with music. So I had to make a LinkedIn account in college. So I used my LinkedIn account to look around. I looked on ZipRecruiter, I looked on Glassdoor, like all the recruiting companies. And I just sent out my basic resume and, just applied to things that were out there. And I focused mostly on music, of course, and also animals. I had experience working with animals already, having a cat and a dog. I also had 2 cats growing up. So I had experience with animals and I love animals. So I thought, while I'm working on music, why don't I look for a job in the pet industry and see what happens? And I was able to find an opening at a dog ranch, or like a doggy daycare boarding facility, that it wasn't like corporate owned, like it wasn't like PetSmart or Petco or any of that. It was a family owned business, and it wasn't too far from where I lived at the time. It was about a 15 to 20 minute drive. So it really wasn't too bad, and I thought it was a good opportunity. So, and I knew it was going to be temporary. So I applied, got an interview, got hired on the spot, and I started working there. And I have to say, I loved the dogs. I mean, I love animals, and I loved working with all sorts of dogs. I mean, we had dogs ranging from Chihuahuas to Great Danes and everything in between, and it was just so fun. It was a lot of manual labor, like, cleaning up after dogs, giving them water, keeping the area clean, making sure the dogs didn't get into fights, and that did happen a few times. That was fun. But I learned how to react when dogs get into fights, which has been really helpful for me as a dog owner. So, I did learn some things. But yeah, it wasn't too intense or anything. And I got along with all my coworkers. We were all girls, and we were all in our late teens to early to mid 20s. So, all about the same age, all dog lovers, all of that. But we did have very conflicting personalities at times, and that definitely contributed to what ended up happening with this particular coworker. So I find myself, or I see myself as a very neutral person. I don't like to get into fights. I don't like to get into arguments. I'll watch drama, I enjoy watching drama unfold and just watching from the sidelines eating popcorn, but I don't like to be the one involved because I just see it as a waste of time. I don't want to argue over something stupid with you. What's the point of that? So when these little disputes would pop up within my coworkers, I would just sit to the side and be like, I'm not getting involved in this. This is not worth my time. There's literally no reason for you guys to be arguing. It just, I don't know. It was weird. And so the 3 coworkers, I think that really did not mesh well and ended up also contributing to this almost fight, where one was the girl who she wasn't in charge, but she had been working at the ranch the longest out of all of us besides the owner and his daughter. So she had a very, how do I say it? Because I had respect for her. She knew what she was doing. She knew how everything was run. She just had a very harsh way of showing it at times. And I used to take those things personally, but now I'm just like, that's just how they are. You know, I don't care for that kind of attitude, but you know, you treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect. And that's what happened, and we got along. And then these other two coworkers, she was the youngest out of all of us. I want to say she was like, let's see, I was 22, I just turned 22. I want to say this girl was at the oldest 19, and she definitely got bossed around a lot by the like upper girls, and she wasn't very good at standing up for herself. And that's when this that's when this coworker comes in. This coworker was very much, you look at her in the wrong way and she will be up in your face about it. So she was constantly defending the younger girl, and I was just always to the side, just like, I'm not getting involved in this. You guys can sort it out, but I'm not walking into the dog fight. You know, like, I'll come in to break it up, but I'm not getting involved otherwise. So there was always like this just weird energy going on. And what ended up leading to this was, I worked at this place from, I want to say, February to June. And in the Bay Area, it starts getting warm, like summertime warm, like I would say 80s. In this particular area we were in, around like May. So, and we had to be outside all day unless it rained, and then we brought the dogs inside into this big room we had specifically for them, which was also one of the offices, so that was always fun. It got really hot one of those days, and I was constantly refilling the water bowl. So we also had the ranch like divided into 3 parts. So we had one area for the smaller dogs, like I would say like 30 pounds and under. Then we'd have an area for the medium-sized dogs, like Anakin would fit in like 30 to, I want to say, 60 pounds, and then the 60 pounds plus would be in the big yard, like big area. And we didn't always use the medium-sized area, so it was usually just like 30 pounds and under, and then we would just figure out within the medium dogs, like, do you have enough energy? If you have the energy of a big dog, go hang out with the big dogs, but if you're more chill, hang out with the small dogs. I was almost always with the big dogs, and I didn't mind that. I love dogs of all shapes and sizes. I'm actually not a huge fan of small yappy dogs, so it worked out just fine. And on this particular day, I was out in the big yard, and because it was so hot, I was constantly refilling the water bowl. Like, just, I want to say every 5 to 10 minutes I was going over with the hose and just filling the water again and again and again, because it was just so hot and all the dogs were drinking water. They were all feeling weird. I was feeling weird from the heat because it was one of the first really warm days of the year. And that day, I'm usually really good at keeping track of all the tasks I had to get done, but when something odd, like something out of the ordinary, like throws me off my, like when something throws me off my rhythm, I may miss something. And in this particular day, because the heat threw me off so much and constantly refilling the water, I forgot to clean up, or I was picking up after the dogs and putting the poop in these tins we had. And I forgot to, like, the tin got full, and before the end of my shift, I forgot to take the bag out to the front to go with the rest of the garbage. Hey guys, so I was in the middle of editing the video when everything after this last part is just not usable, so I am re-recording the last part of this video. So because I forgot to take the garbage bag full of dog poop out to the front with the rest of the garbage, that meant that the person who was relieving me of my shift had to do it for me, which, you know, it's not a pleasant task. You know, I don't think anyone enjoys taking out big, heavy garbage bags of poop, and especially on a hot day. So I felt bad, but I didn't even realize what had happened until the next time I came in for my shift, which was about 2 days later. So I had the next day off, and then the following day I came in, and this time instead of having a morning shift, I had an afternoon shift, so I came in the early afternoon to relieve the morning person. And the morning person just so happened to be this coworker. So I show up and, you know, I don't think anything's wrong. I think everything's fine. And this was this coworker's last day. So she, at this point, she was fed up with everyone. She was fed up with everyone's attitude. I thought we were on good terms. We never had issues before this day. So I thought everything was fine when I walked in. So I walk in, and in order to get to the big dog area, you have to go through the small dog area. So I'm going through, and I'm just like, you know, like saying hi to everyone, and I see my coworker, and there was a chain link fence that divided the yards, you know, so that the big and little dogs wouldn't mesh and potentially get into fights. So she put her hands like through the, like she's like holding the fence like this, and she, like, honestly, she looked like a rabid dog. Like, I was just like, is she okay? Like, I'm just looking at her like, and she just, this is so ridiculous. She just like makes eye contact with me and just like doesn't break it. And I'm just like staring back at her like, yes. And I also like knew she was sick of everyone. So I was just like, what, is she gonna be mad at me too now? Cause like today's her last day, like blah, blah, blah. And I was relieving her. So like once I walked into that yard, she could leave. She was done. She could go bye-bye and never see any of us again. So, you know, so she's holding onto this fence, and she's just like, at this point, like she's grabbing the fence, and she just like stares at me and just says, of course, I don't remember if this was word for word, but she says something along the lines of, hey Gabby, remember how you left that big bag of dog poop for me to take out? Well, I left the bin overflowing for you, so have fun taking that out. If you have a problem with me, say it to my face. Like, let's go. Like, what's your problem? And she's just like going at it. And at this point, she's like going like this to the fence, so the dogs are getting riled up because they think something's going on. And she's like screw all of you, like I don't know what your issue is with me, like if you have a problem, like say it with my face, like let's go, like what's your problem, like Gabby, get in here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, are you okay? Like, first of all, I'm not about to go into a yard full of, you know, 60 to 100 plus pound dogs and fight you. Why do you want to fight me over a literal garbage bag full of dog poop? Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, honestly, she literally could have just come up to me and been like, hey, you forgot to do this and I had to take it out, and it just like, you know, it's not cool. And I would have been like, I'm so sorry, I completely forgot, I was distracted that day, you know, my bad. But instead, she literally tried to start a fight with me in front of everyone. Like, I'm glad the owner wasn't there, because I'm pretty sure he would have called the cops on her. It was so unnecessary. I just don't understand why she literally wanted to throw hands with me over a bag full of dog poop. Like, it's not that serious. You know, I definitely feel bad that I forgot to take it out, because like, you know, I would have been a little annoyed if someone had done that, but I wouldn't want to fight them at work while we're on the clock, in front of like the owner's daughter, in front of all the other coworkers, in front of the dogs. Like, really? So at that point, the higher up girl who, like, this coworker and the younger coworker, I don't remember if she was actually there for this particular situation, but she continued to have a nasty attitude with me until my last day. And at that point, I was just like, see you later. Let's see where that attitude gets you in life, because it's not gonna get you anywhere. So the older girl gets involved, and she just like looks at the coworker who's about to leave, and she's like, grab your things and go. You're done here. Like, leave. You don't work here anymore. Go. This is ridiculous. Just leave. And of course, this girl, like, she grabs her things, and she would also bring her dog with her to the ranch, you know, because it was easier for her to have her dog with her. And he was this like really cute, like, bulky pit bull. He was so cute. And she's just like, let's go. And she's like, you know, trying to make her dog look all scary. And I'm just like, dude, you know your dog is harmless. Like, come on. And so she grabs her things, she takes her dog, and they leave, and we never see her again. I swear, if I see this girl again, I'm just gonna be like, square up. No, I'm kidding. It was just so unnecessary. I don't get why people feel the need to fight over just the most minimal things. It is so much easier to just have a conversation with someone, let them know what they did bothered you or annoyed you or pissed you off, and then move on. You know, that's the mature thing to do. But honestly, a lot of the people at this place I worked at were not very mature, so you know, what did I expect? But I'm not trying to trash talk the business. You know, I enjoyed working at this place. I enjoyed the dogs, and you know, I'm glad I got that experience. It's just weird that like in my basically like last 2 weeks of working at this place, I had to deal with this interesting person, but whatever, that's life. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me almost fighting someone at my job. And please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because that'll help me a lot. And please go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I have more stories to tell you guys. I have more music to share, and I also vlog every once in a while. So if you want to stay up to date with all that, you can also follow me on social media. I always forget to plug my social media, even though it's all down in the description below. So my Twitter is GabbyCat94. My Instagram is GabbyCastro94, just like this channel. And what else do I use? Oh, and my Facebook page is Gabby Castro Music, and my Patreon is also Gabby Castro Music. So if you want to stay up to date with my music things and things that are on my mind that I put on Twitter, and pictures that I take of my pets mostly, and other exciting things, I've got Instagram too. But again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.